I'm David Selzer. Please take your seats, turn off your cell phones or other devices, and take some time to greet everybody sitting around you. Hello. Get them going. Welcome to the Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living. We honor you wherever you are in your spiritual path and know that there is something wonderful for you here this morning. This morning being the first full day of summer. And that in mind, just a few words about beauty and nature from the Science of Mind magazine entry for today. Looking out upon the world through the eyes of wonder, we perceive the awesome beauty of the divine. It is seen in the splendor of sunshine sparkling on dew-kissed grass, in the hummingbird whose iridescent colors glitter like jewels. It is seen in the spring rain, fall leaves, snow-capped mountains, all beautiful gifts of the divine that lift our spirits and calm our souls. Universally present, beauty flings open a window for all of us through which we can directly sense and know God. For God is beauty, just as God is love. The words to the chant will be seen on the screen, followed by the opening prayer given to you by our practitioner of the day, Janet Ryan. Oh.
Hey Yana, ho Yana. We're going to do a solstice chant. Hey Yana, ho Yana, hey Yana. 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 The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. Hey Yana, ho Yana, hey Yana. 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 Her sacred ground we walk upon, with every step we take. Her sacred ground we walk upon, with every step we take. Her sacred ground we walk upon, with every step we take. Her sacred ground we walk upon, with every step we take. Hey Yana, ho Yana, hey Yana. Hey Yana, ho Yana, hey Yana. Hey Yana, ho Yana, hey Yana. Hey Yana, ho Yana, hey Yana.
And let us take a sacred breath together as we join in conscious connection with the infinite presence, knowing that the innermost God and the outermost are one. And this divinity is fully expressing here and now, in and through and as each one of us. I know that we are called together in this Sunday celebration, that we may give forth and receive the blessings of Spirit. And so we just take this moment to breathe deeply, to connect in the heart, and to become even more receptive, allowing the gifts, the miracles, the blessings to wash through us, to emanate from us, knowing that it is all one. God is, I am. We give thanks, and so it is. Blessed be. And now join me in welcoming some of our very favorite and most special musicians. Every time I see Anton and Laura, I feel a fresh air coming from Shasta. These two are consummate musicians. They have dedicated their skill and their hearts and their practice to bringing forth the blessing of music in sacred celebrations. So please welcome Anton Mizrak and Laura Merrill.
Well, we drove down late last night from our home in Mount Shasta, where the squash and the tomatoes are on the plants in the garden, and where the high mountain meadows are just about to open up, blooming with pennyroyal, penstemon, purple heather. And so we're going to do a mountain song for you. Oh, the summertime is coming, and the winds are sweetly blowing, and the wild mountain thyme grows around the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pull wild mountain thyme from around the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? I will build my love a bower by yon pure crystal fountain, and around it I will place all the flowers of the mountain. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pull wild mountain thyme from around the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? If my true love she won't go, I will surely find another to pull wild mountain thyme from around the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to
you so much for that. I would like to draw your attention to this glorious altar created by Sandra Aguerrebere, and we can see in it a tribute to the sun. This is the time of the sun's greatest intensity and the greatest light in the northern hemisphere. And this figure with the children in the front is, I think, giving birth to the light even more. And the flowers are the exuberance of this season. So thank you, Sandra, so much for that beautiful contribution to our sacred celebration today. And now it's my pleasure to bring to the podium our beloved Reverend Mary. We're so grateful to have her with us in this community since her return from Vancouver. And today she will share her wisdom, her presence, her wit, her spirit, and her love. Thank you, Reverend Mary.
Thank you. Good morning. I bring you greetings from Reverend Carol in Wales. She said to be sure and let you all know that she's sending you her love. She's probably having dinner about now. So that's the story on where she is at the moment. She spent yesterday near wells and waterfalls and tramping outdoors, and she had a wonderful day. So let's see. Last time I was here and I spoke at the beginning of this month, I was talking about how to seduce the divine. So today I want to talk about how the divine wants to seduce us. But before I go into that, I want to remind you that we're on a track throughout the year of taking our founder Ernest Holmes' writing, which he originally called What I Believe, and taking it apart month by month so that we have a statement or two to focus on each month that come out of that, because it's kind of an encapsulation of what we teach and believe. So we're on the 6th month, and if you look at the poster over here that says What We Believe, you'll see on it for each month what the words of the day have been and what the section of What We Believe, as we call it now, or the Declaration of Principles, what it says for that particular month. So this is the one for this month. We believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. We believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. I'm going to talk about both these pieces a little bit today. But the word for today that I want to focus on then is love. Oh, no, this is the word for the month. Oneness, which you've seen before. This is my talk for the day. Let my love open the door to your heart. How many of you are familiar with Pete Townsend? This is his song, Let My Love Open the Door to Your Heart. So when at the beginning of the month I was talking about seducing the divine, now I'm talking about the divine's invitation or response to us. And my word for today is love, all right? So the love, we say at the beginning of this statement for this month, we believe that the highest God and the innermost God is one God, and that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. We believe in the unity of all life. So we have this interesting belief that came originally to Ernest Holmes through the teachings of Ralph Waldo Emerson, that the divine presence is both transcendent, which means beyond all form, infinitely beyond all form, and immanent. Not immanent like it's just about to happen, or eminent like someone who's very respected, but immanent meaning fully in form, fully embodied in form. So we believe that God is all there is in form and infinitely all there is in potential and beyond form. At the same time, all of that at once. So when we say we believe in the unity of all life, what do we mean by that? What is the presence? It's actually probably a better question to say, what isn't the presence? Because the answer is nothing. There's nothing that isn't the presence. One of the first talks I was ever asked to give was before I was a minister. I was still a ministerial student. I was asked to fill in for Reverend Dr. Fred Vogt. Some of you who've been around a long time might remember Fred, at CBEC, which is the Northwestern conference that's like Asilomar in California. And he already had a talk title that I inherited. And his talk title was Into the Presence. And so I played with that for a while, trying to figure out what to say about coming into the presence, and my conclusion finally was, you can't get out. So there's no way to get in, because it's already there. You're already in it. There's no place else to go. So this omnipresence is already within us. It's not like the divine presence is present everywhere, right up to your skin, and then suddenly it's you. No. Each one of us is that in manifestation as ourselves. And part of the game is waking up to that over however many eons we play this game in different suits, different space suits, human suits. So the presence that's everywhere, omnipresent really means everywhere. That means you cannot be an exception to it. Otherwise, it's not omnipresent. You with me here? So omnipresent, as you know, Eric Butterworth, the famous Unity minister, once said, God is not present in you like a raisin in a bun, somewhere. God is fully present everywhere, every when, all the time. Unlimited. That's what unlimited is. So the mystery of it is that we can experience ourselves as separate, that we can actually believe we could be separate from that presence. And if we think of the divine as energy or as vibration, then we recognize that that's everywhere. It's everywhere in us, around us, through us, beyond us, and we're a part of it all. You know, physics teaches us that it's all connected. So in that infinite vibration, we can get that as creative law, as energy, as the presence of a force. But then we go even further. It becomes personal to us. As we experience, as we become aware of divine presence around us and in us, we experience it as personal. You know, that's the divine. Did you hear that little dingle, dingle, dingle that Bob has in the front? That's the divine. That's the divine invitation. That's the phone call coming in. Are we going to answer it, or are we going to send it to voicemail? That's the question. So the divine invitation is coming to us all the time. It doesn't always come to us in the form that we want it to come to us in, but it's always coming. It's always available. It's the unformed substance that creates itself into the experiences of our life. That unformed energy that becomes, that's God. What it becomes is God. The process of it becoming is God. There's nothing outside of omnipresence, of omnipotence. There's nothing outside of that. So I like to think of the divine presence in the unformed as being the vibration of love, actual love, that is so powerful it cannot be contained, and it has to overflow into expression, which then becomes form. So that there is a process in which this divine presence is overflowing into life. I used to say that God is the active love, or we are the active love of spirit slowed down enough to become visible. We are the active love of spirit slowed down enough to become visible. We are love made manifest, as is everything in form. So our true nature is this loving presence, this loving beingness, this loving energy. It's more than an emotion. It's more than a good idea. It's more than our expression to somebody else. It's actually a presence, a palpable presence of love. In 1 John, the disciple says, whoever does not love does not know God, for God is love. Now that's a huge statement to be made. And our founder, Ernest Holmes, said, love is the grandest healing and drawing power on earth. It is the very reason for our being. And that explains why it is that people should have someone or something to love. The life that has not loved has not lived. He says love is the sole impulse for creation. Love is the sole impulse for creation. And the one that does not have love as the greatest incentive in life has never developed the real creative instinct. No one can swing out into the universal without love, for the whole universe is based upon it. So if love is the reason for our being, and love is the actual identity that we hold, what is it that causes us to get crabby and judgmental and irritable and obnoxious, really? You know, we're looking for an expression of feeling better, being lifted up, being good, being happy, having all that we want, being healthy. We identify all these things with being happy. So we're constantly putting off the experience of being in divine bliss because we have all these conditions. I'll be happy when. I'll be happy if. I'll be happy if it's 80 degrees today. I'll be happy when the kids clean up their room. I'll be happy when I get to retire. I'll be whatever. And so there are conditions. We're always waiting, it seems like. I'll be happy when the commercials are over. Whatever it is, you know. I came across the story of these two little boys. As a mother was preparing breakfast for her two little boys, Kevin 5 and Ryan 3. And the boys began to argue over who was going to get the first pancake. And so she decided, here's a good opportunity to teach her boys a little moral lesson in generosity, in delayed gratification. And so she says to them, you know, if Jesus were sitting here, he would say, let my brother have the first pancake. And so her older son, Ryan, thought about that, and he said, that's a good idea. Ryan, you be Jesus. We can create ways that are workarounds. You know, workarounds for the love. That's a good idea. You do that. That's a great idea. I know what would work for you. You do this or that. So when we look at the unity of all life, we're really saying that everywhere we look, we're looking at the face of God and it's looking back at us. It's almost like a giant peekaboo game, like, can you see me now? Can you see me now? Rather than the Sprint commercial, you know, although I think sometimes God is saying, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Like the little dingle dingle, you know, that we had on Bob's phone a few minutes ago. So the unity of all life, that means that we're not separate from any of it at all, ever, that we're connected to everything, everywhere, all the time. And that's so great when we're feeling grounded and when we're feeling good and when we're appreciating the people that we're with. But I find, I don't know about you, but I find that I get uncomfortable when I'm with people whose point of view is way different than mine. I get to feeling uncomfortable if people are disagreeing with something that I have an attachment to. I get uncomfortable when I sit down on the patio to have dinner and the Yellow Jackets come. I don't feel a sense of oneness with them. I don't welcome them. I don't bless them. I say, go away, or I take my plate and I leave. You know, it's very much easier for me to get a concept of it than it is when the universe comes to me face to face and says, can you see me now? That's a little more challenging to me. That indwelling presence is being reflected back to me, and when I see something that I'm uncomfortable with or that disturbs me, that may be a reflection of part of myself, too, that I'm not comfortable with or that disturbs me, that I want to get away from or complain about or judge. Anybody in here have anything you'd like to change about yourself? Now, suppose, for just a moment, that Spirit is manifesting as you, exactly as you are, not as Spirit would hope you would be, but exactly as you are, because that is exactly perfect right now. But we know better than Spirit, right? We know why that's obnoxious or wrong or should be changed or is difficult. So I'm not saying that we shouldn't do self-improvement when we want to. I'm just saying that when we look into the mirror and we don't like what we see, some part of ourselves, perhaps we could make a bigger perspective about that. That in this particular incarnation we've taken on, that love is the way through. That Spirit is saying to us, yes, even now, would you let my love open the door to your heart? Yes, even now, when you're being crabby and judgmental and unlovable, could you let my love open the door to your heart? Not, we're going to have a tug of war on this door, or it's impossible, you have to open the door from the inside, and until you open the door, I'm not doing anything. But rather, the invitation from the divine is, let me help you. Let my love open the door. Let my love unlock the door to your heart. Let it, allow it, surrender to it. In the Sufi or tradition of Islam, the core of that teaching is surrender to the love of God. Surrender, letting go, allowing the love of God. It's not hard work, except it seems like it is. So Alan Watts, in describing this unity of all life, said once, we do not come into this world. We come out of it as leaves from a tree. As the ocean waves, the universe peoples. Every individual is an expression of the whole realm of nature, a unique action of the total universe. From the moment of the Big Bang, the universe has been evolving to bring you into being. You are the point the universe has been evolving toward until this moment, and each one of us sitting here. It has worked all this magic to bring us into being. Not us only, but we wouldn't be here as the result of all of that if we were not important to the expression on the path of the divine. So that loving presence, we say that it is the unity of all life, and the highest God and the innermost God is one God. And then we also say that we believe, I did that, didn't I? We believe that God is personal to those who feel this indwelling presence. So Ernest Holmes doesn't say that God seems personal to all of us. He said God feels personal to those who experience and feel the indwelling presence. So how do we feel the indwelling presence? Well, the essence of our nature is love. But it isn't just love that's conditional, that works when conditions are perfect. It's love that works when conditions aren't perfect also. It's love that allows us to recognize the essence in everything, that as we look out, the presence of God is looking back at us. As we look into the mirror, the presence of God is looking back at us. That there's nowhere we can look that the presence of God isn't looking back at us with love and smiling. So the yellow jacket, if it stings me, it's still the presence. And we're having a love encounter, even though it might not be the one I wanted in that moment. Stephen Levine wrote in A Gradual Awakening, it is hard to be loving all the time, but it's harder not to be loving. When I'm not loving, it does not feel good to me. When I am loving, and not when I'm efforting at loving, like, okay, I'm going to not judge this person. That doesn't necessarily feel good. But if I can relax a bit, I calm down. And then that indwelling presence, that essence of what I am, can be felt a little bit more. So our own nature, we're actually surrendering to our own true nature, allowing love to get to us, allowing it to get to us from the inside, allowing it to get to us from the outside, not resisting it anymore. Hugh Prather said in a book that he wrote many years ago, Notes to Myself, he said, letting people in is largely a matter of not spending the energy to keep them out. So that's the thing about non-resistance, letting that, and I suppose what that means, if I'm with someone whose views are very different and I feel uncomfortable about that, is to embrace my own discomfort and not resist that either. That seems like a big piece of homework for me. How about you? To embrace my own discomfort without resisting it either, and without running away from the person that's facing me at that moment. So we're surrendering in the moment, and as we surrender to ourselves, we may get the opportunity to stretch our ability to feel the divine presence a little bit more. Alan Cohen, who wrote a number of books, including one of my favorites, Rising in Love, says, I had created distinctions between who I could love and who I could not. Divisions as artificial as the lines on a map. Borders that exist only in the mind. Separations which the exaltation of nature does not recognize. I saw that I had treated love, a spirit-like commodity, by reserving it for certain persons, those who love me, and withholding it from the rest. And he goes on to say in the book, all human interactions are expressions of the statement, I want to feel love. Whenever anyone asks for anything, they're asking for love. The interesting thing about it is, all our encounters may be our expression of, I want to feel love. But the tricky thing is that we may be asking for love without recognizing that we were never without it. That someone else can't give to us what we don't yet recognize we already possess. Love is the given. Our physical existence is evidence of love. We are here. That's the evidence. We are loved, or we would not have been chosen to be. We are the chosen ones because we exist. We are the expression of divine love. So the love is already present. We can't actually go and get it. We cannot need love, but we can open to the presence of love that's already there. We can accept the invitation that is being given every moment of every day, all the time, no matter where our mind is, no matter where our body is, no matter what we think we're up to. The divine presence is already there saying to you, there's nothing wrong with you. You don't need to be fixed. You are already whole, complete, and perfect. You only need to let yourself be revealed to you. Eben Alexander is a neurosurgeon who had a near-death experience and wrote a book about it. He discovered in looking at his own medical records that there was no medical explanation for what had happened to him because he knew, he had believed for years as a neurosurgeon, that near-death experiences that people have are biochemical reactions happening in the brain. Except that when he looked at his own records, he could see that his brain was dead during the entire time he'd been having this experience. In fact, they were just ready to unplug him when he woke up. So he came back and wrote a book for all of us called Proof of Heaven, and his mission really is to other doctors because he wants them to understand this truth and to recognize what it is about so that they're not deceived into thinking that these experiences are somebody's imagination. He said the message that he got that was communicated to him was, there's nothing to be afraid of. You cannot make a mistake, and you are infinitely loved and cherished. That was the message. There's nothing to be afraid of. You cannot make a mistake, and you are infinitely loved and cherished. Now, if we were to accept that, what a relief that would be. How relaxed we could be in accepting the invitation. So the invitation that we are given is to trust this message. That it's fine, we're all right. And whatever we're in the midst of experiencing, there is more than what we've understood so far or what we've seen so far. So we can surrender. We can surrender into that invitation. I always get the image of a little kid leaping off of the edge of the pool into Daddy's arms in the pool with great glee, leaping into the arms. And sometimes in my life I feel like that, like I'm leaping into the infinite with surrender and trust. And other times I find myself standing on the edge of the pool thinking, I'm not altogether sure you aren't going to back up and let me swim. So I don't know if I want to jump. The universe is saying, jump. You will either be caught, or you will swim, or you'll be helped, or you will discover. But you can't be destroyed. You can't be hurt. You are an infinite being. So jump and discover. Surrender. Trust. And lastly, come home. You know, we're in this divine presence all the time. And so the way that we come home is to, as T.S. Eliot said, come back to the place we started from and recognize it for the first time. That we've always been here, that we've never left, that we couldn't get out of the presence if we wanted to because there's nowhere to go. Divine presence is, and we're in it. Why not enjoy the invitation? Why not surrender into the divine? Why not let ourselves fall into that love? And so I kept hearing this song in my head, this Pete Townsend song, that I'd never heard when he did it originally. I heard it because they sang it in a movie. And I loved the words, and I went looking for it, and I was kind of stunned to discover it was Pete Townsend. It's called Let My Love Open the Door. And these are the words. Now imagine God, Spirit, the infinite, the mystery, whatever you want to call it, saying this to you. When people keep repeating that you'll never fall in love, when everybody keeps retreating, but you can't seem to get enough, let my love open the door to your heart. When everything feels all over, when everybody seems unkind, I'll give you a 4-leaf clover. Take all the worry out of your mind. Let my love open the door to your heart. I have the only key to your heart. I can stop you falling apart. Try today. You'll find this way. Come on and give me a chance to say, let my love open the door. It's all I'm living for. Release yourself from misery. There's only one thing's going to set you free. That's my love. Let my love open the door to your heart. When tragedy befalls you, don't let it drag you down. Love can cure your problems. You're so lucky I'm around. Let my love open the door to your heart. Accept this invitation from the divine presence. Let my love open the door. Say yes. Namaste. So what I want you to take with you this morning from this is this idea. Wherever I look, love is looking back at me. Love is all there is. See if you can remember that throughout the day today. See if you can remember that throughout the week this week. Love is all there is. Wherever I look, love is looking back at me. So let's take this within now and do a little inner work with this. I want to invite you to put your hand, whichever hand you choose, over your heart. And imagine that there is a door in your heart. And right now it's closed. And I want you to imagine that there is light surrounding your heart that is becoming so warm and bright. This is divine presence. It's not only around your heart, but it's all around you. And it's flowing into you from every direction. And it's warming the the door unlocks. You hear the turning of the knob. And you hear and feel the door swinging open without effort on your part. The warmth and light rushes in. It is a warmth, a light that is filled with joy, filled with love. It is the most exquisite, welcoming, tender, thorough, abundant, unending love. And as you breathe, you are surrendering to it more and more. It is delicious and irresistible. It is flowing into your body. It is flowing into that pesky mind. It is relaxing, soothing, healing. It is directing and focusing and energizing you in the best possible way. It is assisting you to be completely grounded, fully present, clear, conscious, and at peace. We accept this together for ourselves, for all those listening or watching, and for everyone in the room with us, with great gratitude. This is the truth of who we are. We are letting divine love open the door to our hearts. We are grateful. And together we say, and so it is, and so it is. Amen. And I think you're on. Yes? Yes.
We're going to take you on another little journey. So if you just want to take a deep breath, breathe into that God essence in the center of your being. Breathing in blessings, breathing out gratitude for this life.
the time for conscious contribution. This program today, Reverend Mary, our fabulous guest musicians, this room, the staff that set up this room and prepared all of your handouts, and all the activities of Golden Gate Center are made possible by your conscious contributions, and we are grateful for those. And we're grateful for the presence, your presence here, because your presence is a present to us as well. This program could not happen without your generous support and presence. So join me with the blessing of the offering. This gift is God in action. I now send it forth to bless and to prosper. I know that everywhere it goes, it is creating a world living in love, one heart and one thought at a time. And so it is. And would the ushers come forward? And as you take your contribution in your hand, hold it to your heart, and then turn to your neighbor and thank them for the contribution they're making to this wonderful community by being here and their contribution. We know that what we give is a gift we give, a seed we sow. And we give thanks for the divine flow of all things, and thanks for the blessing that each of our generosity brings and the generosity of others. And now the time for wonderful events happening in our community. Francine Huss is Francine, you want to stand up, is speaking next Sunday, and she's offering a workshop on her brand new book. There's special pricing if you sign up today, and those who do sign up today will be entered in a drawing for a special private session with Francine. Gourmets for God, June's the time to pay for the slots for the parties. The bidding is over, and parties are beginning, and Scott Murchison, you want to stand up, is the person to settle up with, and he will give you specific information about your parties. Classes, Gail Durkin is offering Quick Start today, and Janet Ryan is offering your spiritual toolkit on Wednesdays in July. If you'll stand up, and also go to the education table afterwards to talk to them about that. Fourth Sunday brunch, our wonderful Jet Walker is hosting her Sunday brunch next week at 1 o'clock at her home in Tiburon. And you're welcome to bring food to share, and also remember to carpool. There's a ritual workshop. Reverend Carol is offering her summer ritual workshop on July 11th at 7 o'clock at the Learning Center. And please pre-register at the back today at the back table. And then there's a birthday party for all you cancer folks. This will be at Sue Rudy's this Saturday evening, July 5th in Belvedere. So come, bring food, and enjoy.
Are we not just richly blessed in this community with so many opportunities to connect and share? And so this is the time that I'd like to call up the practitioners who are in service today. And those who are at the prayer table and are now standing in front of you are available for a spiritual mind treatment, which I equate to a chiropractic adjustment. It's coming back into alignment with your natural state of well-being. And the remaining practitioners who are present today also enfold the room with love as we join together in a moment of heartfelt reflection. Please accept this blessing and know that the divine in you, as you, through you, is even now more fully available by your receptivity. And so knowing this, we go forth this day a little lighter, a little brighter than ever before. May love, may spirit guide your way. And so now, please stand as we share the affirmation given to us by Reverend Mary. Let's say this together. My heart is open to love, for that is what I am. I give love generously. I receive love with awareness and appreciation. Love looks back at me wherever I look. Blessed be. And so now our closing song. See you all next week. Have a wonderful week.